So in this video I'm going to talk about why I think Aghanim might have started the Great Confluence by messing around with the Continuum Device in this Aghanim's Continuum Conundrum event. So without further ado, let's begin. So why do I think Aghanim might have started the Great Confluence? Well, to understand this, we first have to talk about the Continuum Device, which is this magical artifact that Aghanim messes around with in this trailer. So let's see what he has to say about this device.
The Continuum Device. Here all along. I knew Valora was lying when she said Mars destroyed you. Well, where and when should we go first?
So from this short description, we get a lot of info about this device. First off, we learn that Mars and Valora seems to have a clear connection with this device. But since I'm thinking of talking about their connection to the Continuum Device in a later video, let's just ignore this part for now and focus on the Continuum Device itself. So this Continuum Device seems to have the power to alter space and time, because Aghanim specifically says where and when should we go first. And this fact is further backed up by the name of this device as well. You see, continuum basically means a continuous sequence in which adjacent elements are not perceptibly different from each other. So this continuous sequence probably refers to the flow of time or a timeline. So this takes care of the time-altering aspect of this device, and these adjacent elements that are mentioned here might refer to other dimensions, and the existence of these other dimensions was proved by Aghanim himself in the previous Aghanim's Labyrinth event.
From the far reaches of the astral plane, beyond countless dimensions.
So he says that there are countless dimensions, so these other dimensions definitely exists, but these adjacent elements can also refer to parallel universes, because in this Aghanim's Continuum Conundrum event, Aghanim accidentally brings a lot of alter egos of himself when he tries to use this Continuum Device, and it is pretty clear that these alter egos of Aghanim are versions of Aghanim from parallel universes, or these adjacent elements that are not perceptibly different from each other, because all of the alter egos of Aghanim are not perceptibly different from the original Aghanim. And this covers the space-altering aspect of this device. So this proves that the Continuum Device does have the power to alter space and time. And before we continue, I want to point out the difference between dimensions and parallel universes. So the difference is, multiple dimensions can exist inside a single universe, while a parallel universe is basically another complete universe, which contains its own dimensions within itself. So with this in mind, let's continue. Anyways, this sci-fi parallel universe trope seems to have increased in popularity in the recent years, and a lot of movies and series have been incorporating this parallel universe trope into their stories, and one example of this is the Loki series. And I think the situation we are having in this Aghanim's Continuum Conundrum event is very similar to the storyline of the Loki series. So before I continue, I gotta warn you guys that from now on, I will refer to the Loki series from time to time in this video. So this is a major spoiler warning, so if you guys haven't watched the Loki series, you might have to close this video right now. But if you guys already watched the Loki series, let's continue. You see, the Loki series' story revolves mainly around two plot points. The first plot point of this story is the multiverse, and how there are multiple alter egos of Loki who originates from parallel universes that exist in the multiverse, and they call these alter egos of Loki as variants in this series. And these Loki variants are very similar to Aghanim's alter egos. So this is one similarity between the Loki series and the Aghanim's Continuum Conundrum event. But anyways, the second plot point of the Loki series is the sacred timeline, which is like this ideal timeline where everything in the multiverse happens according to plan. But when someone does something that is not intended to happen in the sacred timeline, it creates something called a Nexus event, which causes the sacred timeline to branch out into alternate timelines. And if this is left unchecked, it will branch out into even more timelines. And I think Aghanim created a similar Nexus event in the Dota timeline when he messed around with the Continuum Device and accidentally brings all of his alter egos into this universe. But there seems to be one key difference between the Loki Nexus event and the Aghanim's Nexus event, because instead of causing the multiverse to branch out, Aghanim's action seems to have caused the multiverse to collapse in on itself, which would explain why all of the Aghanim alter egos from other universes have been summoned into our universe. And this collapsing of the multiverse sounds a lot like the Great Confluence. For those of you who don't know, the Great Confluence is an event that Void Spirit talked about upon his release, and according to his law, it says that it's a point in time when the fabrics of multiple realities are fated to collide, and this seems to match with what Aghanim seems to have caused by messing around with the Continuum Device. And if we listen to Void Spirit's voice lines, they give us more information about this Great Confluence.
The Great Confluence approaches, and my time finally comes. I sense distortions in the void. Soon the fabric of this realm will merge with others, and the ripples of destruction will touch all planes equally. I arrived to avert the destruction that comes.
So from all of this, it sounds like the Great Confluence is a point in time where the merging of parallel universes happens, and Void Spirit specifically says that no secret can hide from him.
From the void, nothing escapes my notice. No secret lies beyond my grasp.
This is because the Void Spirit can see every timeline that occurs in the Dota universe from his Void realm.
The map of all of time unfolds before me, in lines that streak across the astral plane. Before me, the map of all of time unfolds.
And yet he also says that he cannot see what happens after the Great Confluence.
I have seen everything just beyond this moment, but there soon comes a point where I am blind. My sight's horizon nears its end. This was the last of my visions. From here on, I am blind.
All of this might sound weird and contradicting, but it actually makes sense, because if the Great Confluence causes parallel universes to merge with the Dota universe, it means that after the Great Confluence occurs, the Dota universe will not be the same, because the resulting universe is going to be a mixture of parallel universes or a hybrid universe from what we have now. And this fusion of other universes with the Dota universe might be the contamination that Void Spirit mentions in this voice line.
How will I keep the contamination at bay?
So since Void Spirit can only observe the timelines that exist in the Dota universe, he is not capable of observing the parallel universes that are going to collide with the Dota universe in the Great Confluence, and he is also not capable of observing the hybrid universe that will form after the Great Confluence occurs, and this is why he is blind to what happens during and after the Great Confluence. So all of this shows that the Nexus event that Aghanim created by messing around with the Continuum Device might have started the countdown for the Great Confluence to begin by making the Multiverse collapse in on itself, which in turn makes the Dota universe collide and merge with other universes. All of this is very exciting news, because I have been making a lot of theory videos talking about the Great Confluence for a while now, and if you guys already watched the previous videos I did on the Great Confluence, you will already know which universe is gonna merge with the Dota universe in the Great Confluence, and that is the HoN universe. So for those of you who didn't watch the previous Great Confluence theory videos that I made, you guys can go check out those videos to get the full story of why I say this is the case. But for the sake of this video, I will give you guys a brief summary of the evidence that are presented in those videos to support the theory that I have about the HoN and the Dota 2 universes merging in this Great Confluence. First off, the definition of the word confluence means the merging of two similar rivers, and I think these two similar rivers signifies the Dota 2 timeline and the HoN timeline. And I say this because both HoN and Dota 2 are both very similar games, because they are both derived from Dota 1, and thus they have similar heroes, items, and so on and so forth. So all of these factors makes these two games pretty close to the definition of parallel universes. So it's safe to say that they are essentially parallel universes of each other. And then we have the fact that HoN got its last major patch back in 2019. This is because the HoN player base have been declining because of the growing popularity of other MOBA games like Dota and League of Legends. And later that same year, the Void Spirit got released into Dota 2 and announced about this upcoming Great Confluence. So since the player count of HoN was declining because of games like Dota 2, it makes sense that HoN may have partnered up with Valve and decided to merge these two games together. Because like I said before, these two games are pretty similar, and thus they are very compatible with each other, so they can easily port over HoN content into Dota 2 without really disrupting the whole dynamic of both of these two games in this Great Confluence, which literally means the Great Merging. So it's pretty clear that this Great Confluence is sort of like this huge crossover event. And on top of all that, then we have the fact that many hero data leaks have been surfacing occasionally in the past few years, and these data leaks contain information about upcoming Dota 2 heroes, and I did a bunch of videos where I analyzed these data leaks and speculated about these upcoming heroes, and you guys can check out those videos if you guys are interested in knowing more about these upcoming data leak heroes. But anyways, I noticed something interesting when I did this data leak analysis, and that is the fact that some of these data leak hero names, titles, and abilities seems to match with HoN heroes, which suggests that some of these upcoming heroes that are mentioned in these data leaks are actually HoN hero ports that are waiting to be released into Dota 2. And these data leaks are pretty legit, because all of the recent hero releases have been data leak heroes, and I noticed that all of these released data leak heroes have one thing in common, and that is the fact that none of these released data leak heroes included the data leak heroes who seems to be HoN ports, and this seems to suggest that they are saving up this HoN Hero Port Data Leak Heroes to be released on or after the Great Confluence when these two games officially merges together. And this fact is further solidified by the fact that all of these data leaks started surfacing after Voidspirit's release, who we know is the hero who initially talked about this upcoming Great Confluence event in the first place. So as you can see, there's clearly a connection here, and these are the main reasons why I say that the Great Confluence is the merging of the HoN and the Dota 2 universes. And it's worth noting that these are just the notable reasons, and there are a lot of smaller intricate clues that all points towards this possibility. And you guys can check out the past videos that I did about the Great Confluence to get a full detailed version of this Great Confluence theory. But anyways, I made all of those videos a while ago, and a lot has happened since then. And this brings me to the present day, where another piece of evidence that supports the theory that I have about HoN and Dota 2 merging has surfaced recently. And that is the fact that recently, HoN officially announced that they will close down HoN for good on the 20th of June 2022. And this announcement single-handedly proved that it's only a matter of time before these two games will merge together in the Great Confluence and become one game. But that being said, it seems like the HoN universe isn't the only universe that is gonna merge with the Dota universe in this Great Confluence, and I will talk about these other universes in future videos. And one of these other universes seems to be the anime universe, and I'm currently working on a video talking all about this possibility, but I fear I might not be able to finish that video before the Dragon's Blood Season 2 is released. And in case I don't make it, I'm just gonna say that there is a chance that by the end of this second season, they might reveal that the events of the anime is actually taking place in an alternate universe. And the reason why I'm revealing this fact now in this video is because this way I can prove that I already knew about this fact before the release of this second season, just in case if I fail to finish and post that video in time. But even if they don't explain or reveal this fact in the second season, there is a possibility that they might decide to save this reveal for a third season. But I doubt that they will make a third season because of Gaben's hate for the number 3. And this is why I'm concerned that they might reveal this fact in this second season. So I'm kinda hoping that there will be a third season, so that I can explore this possibility before the anime actually reveals this fact themselves. But either way, I will talk about this possibility in detail in the upcoming video. So keep an eye out for that video, and hopefully I will release it before this second season of the anime is released. So let's see how it goes. But anyways, that's it for this video guys. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos like this, and comment down below and let me know what you guys think about the things that I talked about in this video, because I would love to know what you guys think about these revelations. And also don't forget to watch the other videos that I mentioned in this video, like the Great Confluence theory videos and the data leak analysis videos, to get a better understanding of the theory that I talked about in this video. And the links for all of the related videos are in the description box below, so you guys can check them out if you like. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.